Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and Palm Beach County, the best way to experience Florida.
Well, this morning we're gonna head out and do some bass fishing on Lake Okeechobee, but before we do that, as a good omen, we have to feed Harvey. Otherwise we're gonna catch nothing.
He'll eat as many as you throw out there. That one's Shorty that just got that little one. He's hungry this morning.
There he comes up. Woo, look at that. Pretty fish.
We got a big one, boys!
I don't think it gets any better than this.
I just cannot believe how many fish there are out here.
This is why you come here. This is why we do what we do. Off of Palm Beach, bro. This is the kind of Jurassic Park stuff that lives out here. Woo! We did it, fella.
It blows me away the fishing opportunities that we have in and around Palm Beach County.
Some of the best game fishing that you can have in the entire world. We've got a couple of gentlemen behind us heading out fishing too. I can tell you something, these guys have been fishing this lake probably longer than I've been alive, right? And they're gonna come back with probably 5 times more fish than us, bamboo poles and all, and that skillet is gonna be fired up tonight. Welcome to another episode of Hooked on the Palm Beaches. And this episode we could call Fishing Tales from the Fog. We're on the Great Lake, Lake Okeechobee, and I'm fishing this morning with Captain Rick Mitchell. And this morning we're going in search of that iconic of game fish, the largemouth bass. This is going to be a great adventure on the lake. Hopefully we'll get into some big ones today. It's winter fishing at its best. We're now in January, the water temperature's around 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and the fish have been biting, so let's hope we have some luck. Let's go fishing. You know, I've been coming out to Lake Okeechobee for the past 10 years while I've lived in Palm Beach County. This is such a fantastic place. I come out here to go cycling along the Lost Trail. I come here to go bird watching and wildlife viewing. There's great alligators in the lake and lots of great wildlife. But most of all, I love coming here to dip a line in the water because you never know what you're going to catch here in Lake Okeechobee. It's a fantastic place. Rick's been fishing it for a long time, so you can tell us a little bit more about it. What's the fishing like here, Rick?
Lately, the girls are starting to move in. They're starting to spawn right now. A lot of guys are starting to catch. I had a buddy catch a 9.5 pound yesterday.
Wow.
We went out 2 days ago, caught a 5 pounder. Couple bucks around the beds are starting to move in, and I think it's going to pick up. So this morning, what I like to do is I like to start with topwater, but I've been on a chatterbait bite lately. So we're starting out with artificial, with a chatterbait, and then we don't get bit on a chatterbait, we'll move to a swim bait and see if that works. But I like this area, a lot of hydrilla. Fish have been hanging out here for the last month. The water has dropped a little bit, so it's making it a little bit tougher to catch them. But we'll try this, and then if we don't catch it here, we'll move on to the hayfield and then throw some swim baits out there. And then our backup plan, we'll throw some shiners if we have to.
The mornings here on the lake are so beautiful, especially when you get a morning like this with almost no wind. You got that nice winter fog rolling in, the sun shining through the fog. Just magnificent, dead quiet. All you hear are, you know, the sounds of limpkin and a couple of other water birds. Time when you can reflect on all that's been going on in your life and just relax. And this is my form of meditation right here. Just being out here, casting a line and hoping for the big one. It's great fun.
Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and Palm Beach County, the best way to experience Florida. And by Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler company. And by Pelagic high-performance offshore gear.
Got a fish.
Fish on?
Yep.
Nice. Good job, good job. Got him?
Yep.
All righty. Oh, he's a good fish too. That's
There
what
we
we're
go.
talking about.
Oh, that's a good start to the morning. Nice little largie. Pretty fish. Let this one go. We need something bigger than this, right?
Right, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get
It's a
him.
nice fish, though.
But that's a good start. Bite's been slow in the morning. That's a bonus, I think.
Yeah.
About another month, this lake is going to be really hot. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to catch. 3, 5, 6, or 10-pound fish. You just don't know.
Snail kite behind me. That's pretty cool. That bird over there is one of the very endangered species of birds found in Florida, the snail kite. And we've got one, we're fishing right here. He's just landed on that pole, that little white pole over there in the mist. Very, very cool to see snail kite. You never know what you're going to see out here. You know, there was a time when there was estimated to be only about 60 snail kites in Florida, and their numbers have just come back so well. And it's all about their food source, which is the apple snail. Those really, really big orangey yellow snails. You know, when the water levels are right, those snails do really, really well, and consequently so do the snail kites. So we've learned a lot about snail kites over the years and how to manage the ecosystem and the waterways to ensure that there is a healthy population of apple snails, which in turn means a healthy population of snail kites and limpkin. This lake is just so vast, so incredibly big. And with that, you've got so many different habitats. You know, you've got the hayfields, which is a very well-known spot for catching largemouth. We've got these hydrilla patches, which we're fishing right now, and this is hydrilla probably about 6 to 12 inches below the surface of the water, and we're just bringing these baits across that surface column, and then the fish will shoot up from the hydrilla, and that's what just happened to me now with that little 2-pounder that we caught. And then there's other patches, deeper water with structure, so there's a lot of options for fishing here on the lake. So we're just running this chatterbait right above the hydrilla. So there's about 6 to 12 inches of water just above the hydrilla. And we're just running this straight along the hydrilla. And it basically, with that sort of tail section there, it's mimicking a frog in the water, swimming pretty quickly away from something that's chasing it. And that'll trigger a response, hopefully, from a largemouth. Rick's fishing the whopper popper right now. And it's probably going to be a larger fish that takes that kind of a bait. Largemouth are incredibly opportunistic feeders. They'll feed on, you know, anything from small minnows to shrimp to pretty much anything in the water. They've even been known to take baby birds, ducklings. As they get bigger, they'll feed on things like, believe it or not, baby alligators, mammals swimming in the water. So they'll eat just about anything that fits in that bucket mouth. And Rick's going for the big one over here. I'm quite happy with my 2 to 3 pounders right now.
So what I've done is I modified this whopper popper and put single hooks there, made them weedless, because generally they come with treble hooks. So because the grass is so low right now, it's just a lot easier. I can just go right over that grass and hopefully I get a nice bite.
So Rick, tell me about the role that the moon has to play in bass fishing. I've heard a lot about the fact that, you know, the full moon is never good really during the day.
You know what happens, full moon, a lot of guys, the bass start feeding at night, and then, you know, when you go out and fish during the daytime, they're full, you know, they don't want to eat. So I don't care if it's full moon or half a moon, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna figure it out.
Nice. Fish you gotta eat, right?
That's right. Here he comes, here he comes.
Go on.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
All right. Woo. All right, we're tied.
We're tired now.
We're trying. A little bit better?
Nah, not a bad fish.
Oh no,
Oh,
he's a good
off.
sized fish.
He's off.
Oh, he was a good sized
He's
fish.
a nice fish.
He was good. Yeah, I would say he was about
About
4 pounder.
4 pounder, yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun. I'll get another one.
The score right now, I hate to say this, I'm down by 1, it's 2-1. However, we got a long day. And I did give James my favorite bait, so I'm gonna put 1 on now. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna tell you any more of my secrets. James, you gotta stop. You gotta give me a chance, man. I'm in the game.
In the game.
In the game.
Nice. That's a smaller fish, but it is nice.
You know, James, even though they're small, we're catching them.
Oh, that's the main thing, right?
You know, we're here catching fish, and eventually we're gonna get,
Get a bigger
we
one.
can get a bigger one. You know, if there's fish here, there's gonna be a big one here somewhere. Good job.
Pretty little fish. Let this bugger
What's
go.
the count?
Oh, I think that's about 3-1 cap.
All right. I got more hydrilla than I got fish.
Feels like a bigger fish.
It feels like a big one. But it's my second one.
Oh, you're catching up.
Catching up.
Oh, it's a nicer
Yeah.
fish. That's gonna be make it 3 each.
Yeah.
Damn, I shouldn't.
No, I
Have,
think you got 4.
I shouldn't have given you that that white lure.
All right. How about one more, and then let me catch one more, and then we'll move out here so we
Gotcha.
can tie it up. Unless you got one right there.
So you know, you come out here fishing, and it's not just about the fishing. You know, a lot of people come out here. Yes, the fishing's important, but you can come out here and not catch a single fish the entire day, but then you're just in nature and you're enjoying the scenery, you're enjoying all the amazing wildlife. It's a fun time.
Whether it's sport fishing for the serious angler or a leisurely day for the family, the charter boat fishing fleet in Palm Beach County has a trip for you. You can choose from inshore or offshore, saltwater or freshwater. Hiring a professional captain and crew for your next fishing adventure will guarantee a good time and fresh fish for the table. If you're into catching and not just fishing, check out the Palm Beach's charter fishing fleet today.
Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and Palm Beach County, the best way to experience Florida. And by Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler company. And by Pelagic high-performance offshore gear.
Damn, what is this sucker? Oh, he's coming. Oh my God. Oh, he's good. He's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's
He's
not
a
a
little
bad
bit
one.
better. He's a little better.
Not a bad one. It's a 3-pounder.
Yeah. Nice 3-pound. Well, I tell you what, he was fighting like he was
Fighting
bigger
like
than
a 30-pounder.
that. Yeah. Look like some duck hunters out there. The key is where they at right now. Where they at? Even though I'm a captain, you know, sometimes when I go up north, I go like Guntersville Lake, I always hire a captain the first day, kind of, that can show me what's going on the lake, because it changes all the time. You know, bass fishing is like, to me, it's a puzzle. You got to figure it out, what the fish are doing or where they're located. And by hiring a captain, you know, especially if you have your own boat, at least it gives you a starting point of what to do out in the water, and then you can go from there. Or, you know, I'll have some clients that never thrown a bait caster before in their life, and they want to learn different techniques and, you know, how to fish for bass, and we can teach them that with artificials. And then we get some families, the only thing they want to do is to say, kind of relax and catch some big fish. So we'll take them shiner fishing and then just different things that we can do. We kind of cater to the customers. You know, what do they want, and then we'll figure it out and we'll get the right guide for them.
There we go, finally. Chatterbait, little 1-pounder. This is the hay fields. I'll let this little guy go. Beautiful condition though, look at these fish. See, not a mark or a blemish on them. Looking beautiful.
I'm up by 3 now, and James stole my rod, so I figured I'd take a little break here and eat my sandwich, and then we'll get back at it.
Might regret it.
I would help you out, but you know.
Oh yeah. Okay, catching up there, Captain. One more behind you. One more and I'm there. Looks like exactly the same fish I just caught.
I got a half a sandwich there if you want one right now.
Oh, I don't need no sandwich, Cap. I'm good. Let me get 2 ahead of you and then I'll grab a sandwich. That's a nice fish, yeah.
I think it's a nice, a little
It's
bit
a
better
nice
than we've been catching.
Not a bad one.
Oh yeah, bring him up. Good job. Good job. That might be the big fish of the day. Oh yeah.
All right.
There you go.
That's a better fish.
Nice job, James.
There we go. That's a nicer fish here. That's why they're called the bucket mouthers. Look at the size of that mouth, and these largemouth bass will take anything up to just over half their body length. So you can imagine what can fit in this mouth. Just about anything that they can grab, they're going to grab, whether it's a baby duckling or a water snake or a worm or a fish or pretty much anything. It's a nice looking fish. A little bit better, probably looking at about 3.5 pounds here. So we're getting there. Need to get a fiver before the day's out. But the best news of all is I'm not tied with Cappy. We've both got 8 fish each and the competition's on.
James, you want to give my rod back to me?
Not a chance, sir.
On this week's hotspot, we're heading south to Palm Beach County's Ocean Inlet Park. Most people know this as the Boynton Inlet. You can get out there, cast your line out. You're gonna run into some of those beach snook. You can hit the mullet run with all the stuff that goes along with that. Bluefish, tarpon, even run into some permit off the pier there. And if the fishing's slow and the water's clear, bring your snorkel gear as well. You can go to the south side of the inlet at Ocean Inlet Park and go right offshore and snorkel some amazing artificial reefs that the county has installed about 375 feet right off the shoreline.
Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and Palm Beach County, the best way to experience Florida. And by Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler company. And by Pelagic high-performance offshore gear.
So this is called the hay fields because it looks like hay, right?
Exactly.
And the fish like this because of the structure?
I think the structure, you know, you have some cover that I put in their beds in there, you know, especially when they start spawning, and it's just it's a great area. Every year they come here, they come hang out here, this part of Okeechobee.
So I've noticed a lot of the fish that we're catching here seem to be smaller bucks.
Yes.
And maybe the big females haven't arrived yet. And this is exactly what largemouth bass will do, is the males will generally be smaller than the females. They'll come into this area sort of December, January, and they'll start making the beds where they'll then attract the females and they'll lay the eggs. And then in fact, the male will then protect that nest and the babies until they're ready to leave that nest at about 2 to 3 weeks of age. So they're very protective parents, but there's nothing stopping a largemouth from grabbing and eating its own babies once they've left that nest, because they're going to have no idea which ones are their babies and which ones are just other largemouth that are smaller and that will fit in that big bucket mouth of a largemouth bass. Cappy's just equaled me now.
I had to get one. Had to make a game change there.
Oh man, disappointed.
Little one.
Little ones still count.
All right, we're good. We're back in the zone here. Back in the game.
Another beauty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2-pounder. smaller fish, but still pretty. Lovely guy. And to catch these guys on artificials, this is the way to do it. There's nothing more exciting than actually seeing a fish take your lure right on the surface. Nothing more exciting than that. Beautiful fish.
Ah, there you go.
Ah, takes the lead. So we got a lot of fish today, probably just over 20 fish. We fished 2 different areas. We fished just above the hydrilla where we got about 8 fish this morning, and then we got 12 in the lily pads close to the hayfields on Lake Okeechobee. Fantastic day. No super big fish, but we got fish approaching 4 pounds, which was nice. And just a wonderful day on the water, being able to catch so many fish on artificials. This is just one more aspect of the amazing adventures you can have in Palm Beach County, whether it's offshore fishing, inshore fishing, or largemouth bass fishing on Lake Okeechobee. It doesn't get much better than fishing in the Palm Beaches. We'll see you next week.
Get hooked on the Palm Beaches.